Yo, facts. This is live from a 3-0. This is probably gonna be like one of the last episodes I dropped for the season. I filmed it like like a month early. But yeah, my man Copeland's back, you know, like great. We have this, got my shooter back. That feels good, you know. Got my team back. I'm rocking a pen that got me from China. You know, facts. But this is gonna be something different. This is gonna be I'm being interviewed by James Copeland.
So, as we segue into the first question, I wanted to ask you this simple question: who is Brandon Richard Walker?
This is always the first question. I don't know if you guys noticed. This always asks who the person is. Now that I'm being asked the question, this feels kind of weird, and I don't even. Brandon Walker. He's a creator, you know. Like I'm constantly always creating, not creating it myself, but like I always find people around me who will help me create, and I'm always around other creators. Like everyone I surround myself, I feel is a creator in their own sense. And if they don't create, me and them tend to not click, even in relationships or friendships. They don't create like on their own level. I don't know. I just tend to be disassociated from them. So I'm a creator.
So what is a creator do? Like what is
a creator is? It's like I don't know. It's the simplest, most elementary. It's like someone that produces, like whether it be music, whether it be art, whether it be like investing, or just creating. Like let me explain it. Somebody that makes content, that does the research, that takes time to intentionally put things out, you know, like my friend Copeland, he's a creator. I see him as a creator. Person that's interviewing right now, he takes pictures. That's creating. Or D'Anthony, the editor, even though he doesn't necessarily like create the content, the fact that he's editing that's creating. Like thinking of questions, asking questions, that's creating. Like making things in your mind manifest, that's creating. Like someone that wants to create wealth through investing, that's creating in me. Like my friend Yoni, the person that did Live from 3-0. Intro, he's creating through his music, you know, that's creating to me. Like I just click with creators, and if you're not a creator, they tend to like go out of my circle of friends.
That's interesting, and it seems that the way that you created was by using a platform that you created with other creators, and it's called Live from the 3-0. What is Live from the 3-0? How would you explain that to the people who are watching this?
I guess I'm gonna start with the name. I guess Live from the 3-0. You know, crazy story. That's not crazy. Live from the 3-0 basically is my area code. Live from the 301. Like I want Live from the 3-0 because I always like to be live. I'm a lively person, and also too is like we're live. We're on the issue as it comes out. I mean, sure you don't release it the day of necessarily, but like we're still live with what we release. Like we're still up to date and current all the time. Because a lot of stuff is timeless, so we'll always be live. You know. And that's why I had the little recording sign here on the logo. It's like a recording sign. But how I was created, where do I start? It's like it's not necessarily one story, but it's a whole bunch of dominoes that came to effect. I guess I first got the passion for like interviewing with I used to always like watching interviews like with DJ Vlad and stuff like that. I always liked that. And then also too, like my favorite song has been and always will be the last song, Mortal Man, not because of the song, because of the interview at the end where Kennedy was like, I got a question, but metaphor actually, like that really moved me, you know. I guess I call my friend Yanni all the time and be like, yo, Yanni, I got a question about metaphor actually. When you reenact that whole thing like that, it was like that sparked the interest. Then I remember one day, I was like, yo, I'm gonna do an interview series. I kept telling people that. I got to tell people that I was like, I think I want to do this. I think I want to, but I never like held myself with conviction. Then one day I was with Copeland. I forgot I was in his room. I think I helped him move in, or I went to visit his room, or wanted to see him and hang out for a moment. I forgot exactly what. We ended up taking some pictures, and I said it in the most, the most unfrank way, the most indirect way ever. I was like, yeah, man, just if I only had a videographer, knowing dang well he's a whole videographer, you know. And like the fact that he was willing to do this for me is what really like gave me that extra push. Even then though, like that wasn't just that push, because I had the footage already on my computer, and also too the fact I knew Ash, I knew a lot of people. Like I was having these real conversations with people on campus, but I felt like the conversations on campus outside of mine were so shallow and so unreal, and I don't like that. I like real conversation. People talk about the actual passion. So I made it my idea to make more of this, you know, and to have more conversation like this. But D'Anthony, Like I remember I had the footage already cut. I already had people. I interviewed Ash. That was I had my first interview done, but I had no way to edit the footage. I didn't know. I had no software or no knowledge of editing or film. So I was like, I remember I showed Anthony the film. He was like, "Yeah, that footage is good, but see there in the corner, like it was like the most minuscule detail, but he saw the error in that." And I was like, "You're gonna help me edit this film?" He ended up doing it. And then I had friends from Zion. But yeah, it's mostly how it started basically was through me watching interviews and me having the right tools around me and seeing that the right tools around me to help me be successful with what made a laugh in the 3L.
Were there any people by any chance that gave you like negative comments? Or like were there any naysayers when you started? People always talk about how there's like haters, people that say negative things when you try to, I guess, climb out of the barrel. Were there any?
First off, I think the naysayers are cool, but I think what's worse than naysayers are maybe sayers. Because the maybes like are what make you wait. Like you like people naturally when they hear maybe they're like, okay, well this person might give me an opportunity, so let me wait on it. And there's a lot of interviews where people said, I might be able to do it. Like I'll get back to you, or maybe. And I used to wait for the maybes, and that used to slow me down. But then when I realized like you gotta keep pushing past the maybes. I mean there were a few naysayers. Like I'm not gonna say who, but there's somebody that I was looking for to help. They had a lot of resources to help me, and they called me a night crawler, and that really took offense to me. That made me take pride in what I did, you know, rather than getting the equipment, the footage equipment from them, and getting the videographer from them, and getting the sound equipment from them, and maybe look to myself and invest in some equipment for myself, and to look into my friends and invest in them. And I'm glad they said no to me, because that no pushed me. But the maybes are what held me back. And then when I started pushing past the maybes, that's when Laugh from the 3L started.
So what do you reflect most about after each film, after each movie, after each interview? What do you reflect most about?
How the day went and how much time my team spent with me. You know, like remember Zion when she first started, she used to spend a lot of time with me talking about pushing me through. Even like some interviews weren't the best. Some interviews I felt like could have been better. But now watching back, I think they're great interviews. You know, like I had so much help. So I focused on my team. But I had memories like each interview stands out for a certain thing. Like the Ash interview, like Ash's personalities what really made the interview interesting. So like we were still like young. It's on 480. That video was on 480p. Like we were still learning how to use the software, you know. So that stood out with that interview. Then with Elijah, what stood out was the quality of that interview, because that was like the first high quality, like visually wide. I was like, and edited was like the first high quality video, you know. And also Elijah, he was really frank with me, and that frankness is like guys just like talk about pop culture stuff. He was like, why are we talking about this when there's real things to talk about? And ever since that point, I stopped like making like pop culture references really in my interviews, if you notice, because like that stuff is cool and all, but that's not timeless. And Anthony talked to me about this too. That doesn't make it timeless. Talk about them, what they're doing. That's what's timeless. Because I feel like someone told me that why are you doing this video stuff? That's not your major. History, that's your major. And I was like, but I feel like I am recording history, you know? Shit. Yeah, I focused back on that. And Nicole, her personality was another personality too. She was so bubbly, so genuine. I thought that was the coolest thing out there. And I think what made his interview stand out, what I reflect on the most, was how conscious he was of the social issues and how much he decided to do things not because of a title or not because of a reign, but do it because they're the right thing to do, even when no one's watching. That made me like push forward and want to do this even more and work further towards this. And then with today's mathematics and with that, like with the hip hop talk, what I reflect on about that is how much preparation is put into it, but at the same time, like everyone on that show has been with me for a while now, or I have a chemistry with them where it's like, even though we're prepared, we can still go off cuff a lot, and they have a balance of being off cuff, but at the same time structured.
That's interesting. I like how you talked about what you learned and all the people that you met and what you reflected on most as you did your interview, because it seems like you've literally had 5 years or 10 years or 15 years of experience, but you got probably between 1 to 10 interviews. To segue into another aspect of the interviews, not just the interview itself, but afterwards, who have you met through your channel?
I met a lot of people through my channel actually. Where do I start? I met I don't have the gear with me, but I met Swim Linux. I met a lot of clothing brands through my channel. Swim Linux, cool guy. I was speaking like we work together. He has the hat, so I don't have my hat with me. But cool guy. Check out some links. His information will be in the description. But I also met Moore. His interview is gonna drop soon, hopefully. His name is Damian Jones LB, the Moorish man. He has a clothing brand called One Heart, good clothing brand. Davey J, he's giving me some great advice with this interviewing stuff. Who else have I met? I'm trying to think. All the people I met. Well, D'Anthony, we were cool before, but we really became like tight through this. My friend Kasaya, I mean, we went to high school together, but I really didn't know her until I did Today's Mathematics. I shed a lot of light on her. Then Yumi, I mean, we were talking, but we never really like talked like that until Today's Mathematics. And I feel like it really built me a bond with people and like got me to start seeing what people truly are. Because a lot of people I already knew, but I didn't really know what their passion was until Today's Mathematics started. And a lot of people gave me their passion. So that's why I take this so seriously, even though it's fun and all. It's fun and all, but I take it serious too. Yeah.
It's interesting. I noticed that you learn so much about people through like doing tasks with them, through having problems. You learn more about their character. But to segue into an even different more aspect into like interviewing, like if there was anybody dead or alive that you could interview, who would it be and why?
That's a good question. I have to say Muhammad Ali, like for real. He's the first person to ever teach me black pride, bro. And Muhammad Ali is he's such a great personality, but he's such a conscious man. Like people don't understand the way he speaks so eloquent. And I think that like I want to have an interview with him like at his last conscious moment, like right before he died, to speak about America today. You know what I'm saying? Like regards to, because he was around during the civil rights movement through all that, and he was a part of that too. And he's seen Malcolm X. He's talked to Martin Luther King. He's been around. He's fought the draft. He's a hero in his own right, you know. And he's seen all the accomplishments. But he also knows that the realness. He was the same guy when George W. Bush gave him a Medal of Honor. He was like, this man's crazy, you know what I'm saying? Like how many people have the guts to say it to the president while they're being honored? But Muhammad Ali always keeps it real. And like there's so much depth. You can go on his sports career, on his activism career, on just his perspective on the world. He just has so much knowledge. He'd be the one I'd interview.
Well, do you feel that? How do I put this? Do you feel that the people from the DMV, the people from the 301, the 202, in the area that you're from, do you feel that they embrace your show? Do you feel that they support you?
I mean, I feel part of it is on my part, you know. Like I gotta work on being a better marketer. I mean, there's a lot of friends I do have that support me, and the support is great, you know. But I don't have the whole 301. I don't have the whole DMV on my side, you know. I want the whole world to be on my side, you know. Like shoot, but that's on me as a marketer. But the people that do know about the show, much a lot of my friends, a lot of them support me. A lot of them text me like, "Yo, great show," and they actually listen. They don't just like subscribe or just hit like. Come on. Not bad, yo. I ain't tearing up, at least not yet, but no, I mean I do have like people that do know about the show. A lot of them are on my side, and I feel like I have strength that one day, like the whole DMV be rocking my stuff.
If there was anything that you could point out in terms of what you learned from the show, what would be the most important thing out of all of your experiences from these interviews and the people that you spoke with, and the trials and tribulations and problems and successes and goals? What is the most important thing that you've learned from Live from the 3O?
Well, this is one thing that D'Anthony and Copeland always are on to me about, which is like it doesn't only apply to Live from the 3O, but also applies to like life. You have to learn to balance being prepared with being on your toes and being spontaneous. Like spontaneous. Like, because once you have a balance of both, you can do anything, you know. With preparation at the same time being spontaneous. And part of being spontaneous is having preparation. But yeah, that's the big lesson I've learned through this.
So what moves you? What motivates you to keep these videos going? Like, people have passion, but it seems that at times that passion tends to run out. What is the thing that fuels you? What drives you to keep Live from the 3O going?
Because I enjoy doing this. You know, like I told D'Anthony when the first video dropped. I think I might have told Copeland, I told a lot of people this, but like if I get one view, like I mean that'd be kind of disappointing. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm gonna keep it real for a second. I'd be disappointed, but at the same time I wouldn't care that much because I look at views and I do care about views, but at the same time I don't, because I know I'm dropping good footage and I enjoy what I do, and I enjoy, like I'm learning from this, and I enjoy it. I do interviews myself to to a point. It's because I actually like to hear about what the person has to say, you know. Like in my life, my daily conversations, I interrupt people a lot because like I get stimulated easy through conversation. But if you watch my interviews, I've never once interrupted an answer because I was actually interested in what they had to say, you know. Shoot, so like what motivates me is me wanting to learn and me enjoying this. And also seeing how much work people put in me and how much they believe in this. Besides just me, this is not just my dream. I feel like this is Copeland, this is the Anthony. This is not necessarily like their dream for 3-0, but like what they do in it, they feel like it's part of their vision too, and that's dope to me.
So moving forward, what's your goal for the show? Where do you see the show going? Maybe 3 months from now, a year from now, back at Bowie State, or maybe not at Bowie State. What's your goal for the show?
To be honest, like. I'm doing this for at least 10 years. I'm not gonna lie to you, like that's my goal, 10 years. At least 10 years. I want to do this all my life, but at least 10 years. See where it goes after 10 years from now. But I plan on having I'm starting a clothing brand, start having more shows. But I started my first branch off like Live from the 3-0, the interview series. But I plan on doing some Today's Mathematics is more of a discussion-based thing where it's more informal. We also want to do more charity and give back and cover more social issues and events. So that's why I plan on taking this, you know. And maybe one day I might even get on like, I don't know, TV's dead, but maybe get on TV and also maybe to possibly like have like more sponsors. Like I love the sponsors I have now. I want to be sponsored by every brand in the DMV. That's my goal, to unite the DMV through this. Like every singer, I want them to back me. I want every clothing brand to back me, and I'll back them back too. I just want to connect the DMV together through this. I try to give as many DMV artists and brands opportunity. Like everybody on my show is not only just all black cast and people like all black cast and people supporting it, but it's also all DMV cast and everyone supporting everything I put in it, regarding from the music all the way down to the people I'm interviewing, all the way up to the to touch the footage, to everything, who edits it, all that's DMV.
So, from my understanding, you attend Bowie State University. Can you give us a little bit of information on how that experience has impacted the way that you do Live from the 3-0?
Like it was a family, you know. Like thing about Bowie State is like people were able to what's the word? They were able to get vulnerable in front of me, you know, and that was really trusting me enough to be vulnerable in front of me and with their conversations, you know, and like you don't get that everywhere you go, you know. People don't always like let themselves out to you, you know, and that's what really inspired me to do this show is people were able to be real with me, you know, and I didn't know I had that skill, but a lot of people said I do, like I had people to get vulnerable in front of me. So yeah, that's what it's taught me. Like people are real people. They're not just robots that do jobs and just do check boxes, but we actually follow our dream. We have passions.
That was well spoken. So this is my last and final question. Will you be back at Bowie State next semester? Are we gonna see Live from the 3-0 back at Bowie State next semester?
You gonna
fall 2017.
You gonna see Live from the 3-0 regardless, but regarding this, like I'm taking all opportunities. Like I'm right now I'm in the process of getting into the military in order to fund some certain things that I want to do in my life and like clear off some student loan debt I'm trying to take care of. But no, I'm not gonna be back. But I'm gonna be live from the 3-0 though. So you doesn't check on me, you know. I might be live from the battlefield, you know what I'm saying? But right now I'm in the process of processing with the military and doing that, you know. But I'm definitely gonna keep it live from the 3-0, keep it with my friends and write letters. Yo, hit my phone up, you know what I'm saying? And I'll definitely send me your address and I'll write you letters. But yeah, I won't be returning back though. I'm gonna miss y'all though. It was been real. I couldn't have done this without the support of my Bowie State. Like y'all was home to me. Y'all still are home to me.
Do you have any final words for your viewers?
Damn. Final. That's not final words. Gonna be that. Live from the 3-0 is not going nowhere. I'm not done, so I'm gonna be dead yet. You know what I'm saying? But one last thing to say is be live from the 3-0. Facts.